Okay, so I'm Erik.
And I'm Tasha.
And this is our recap video for the Introduction to Musicality class that we did taught. We talked about 5 key concepts. Number 1 was phrasing. So we pointed out that in most swing music, there's a consistent structure where it repeats after a certain number of phrases. Most commonly certain number of 8s. So typically that is 4 8s. So you do 3 8s that are very much the same, and then a 4th 8 that differentiates, and then it starts over again. That changes through the music, as we learned later on in the lesson. But we talked about filling that space by doing 3 things that are the same. In this case, swing outs, 2, 3, different, boom, ba, ba. Or we can do this with 6 counts, so doing 4 6-count moves to take up those 3 8-count moves. So 1, 2, 3, 4, different, 2, 5. So as phrasing, we talked about the variations to that. It's not a hard and fast rule. There's different songs that have different phrasing structures. But being able to predict what's happening in music makes it much easier to hit the other things in the music. Number 2 we talked about was attitude. So matching our movement to what the music was doing. Trying to imagine that character in that band, how that instrument player is playing their instruments. So I talked about the example of the bass player who played for us on Sunday, who was killing it on stage. He was just loving it in his movements. Trying to capture that feeling. So whether we're going for something that's smooth, sassy, and just changing those things to make our dance look so different. So we can go from nice, smooth, swing outs, music changes. So we haven't changed our tempo, we're just changing our attitude. Number 3 was style. So we talked about choosing the right style of music. So sometimes the song tells you or asks you to do a specific type of dance. It's different for everybody. There's some songs are very clear. So a Charleston song often has that classic ba 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 do ba 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 do ba. Whereas a song might ask you Lindy and swing out, or may ask you to do 6 count, something different. That could change the songs. So sometimes part of the song is going to ask you to do one style and then change. Perhaps the music picks up, slows down, things flip for a chorus, whatever. So that is phrasing, attitude, style. 4th part was hits and breaks. So we talked about breaks being hitting the negatives in the song, so the points where the song slows down or stops for seconds. So taking something that's moving and stopping it to hit that break. Hits were positives in the music, so things where something exciting happens, and how we're going to continue our movement. We're just going to flavor it with extra things so that we catch those movement, those points in music.
It can also happen at the beginning of the music where you listen to Mop Mop by Blue Jordan and went Mop Mop. Mop Mop.
So the hits and breaks can happen in different parts of the song, but we're using that phrasing to predict when it's going to happen because we've heard it happen before. Again, there's nothing wrong with hitting a hit that doesn't happen because you just made a hit. Or hitting a break that didn't necessarily break. You've still changed up your dance and you've shown that you're listening to the song.
Last thing we talked about was instruments.
Yes, so we played a fantastic song, Proud Georgia Brown by...
Don't put me on the spot with that.
Fair enough. So Proud Georgia Brown, which had different instruments coming at different times, and so we listened to the bass player who was asking us Charleston to bum, 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 bum. I don't think that's the actual bass line. Right, and then the trumpet was being sassy, and it was like we had the guitarist that was almost asking us to bow and really go, and the song changed sometimes, so it asked us to do different styles of dance. So listening to songs is the best way to become musical. These are tools to think about the songs so that you can plan what you're going to be doing. Bottom line is, as anything in dance, you have to practice, but not just practicing on the floor, practicing off the floor and listening to music and thinking about these concepts while you're listening so that you can better understand how the music is working. We talked a little bit extra about how to dance musically with your partner. We talked about how if you have to leave room for your partner to be musical if you're a lead, and you can leave that space at the end or beginning of the swing out. So if I am really laid back, I can give my partner an extra 4 counts to do whatever she wants in right here alone. There's lots of other spots in music. You can even just stop moving, do your own solo thing, while your partner does their thing. That was everything we talked about. Really glad you took our class, and we hope that you keep dancing with the music, not just to the music.